Welcome to Maths Bridge. Let's learn Java programming. Folks, please do visit us at our YouTube channel Maths Bridge. I think you are already subscribed to the channel. If you have not, please do subscribe the channel and then support us. Thank you and then happy learning. Here is our today's agenda. Java strings are the beautiful concept, and one should have to understand and appreciate the implementation which we have in Java, right? So let's look at a case by case to build the concept. By end of the session, I think you are going to take something away along with you regarding Java strings. Okay, let's look at the example one. Let's see. First thing that we all need to understand in Java, a string is a sequence of characters. But unlike other languages that implements the strings as a character array, if you look at a string implementation in any other language, what you see is like a character array is nothing but a string. Whereas in Java, what we say that string is nothing but a sequence of characters. Okay, Java implements strings as a object type of string. Okay, in Java, strings are the objects. Okay, implementing strings as a built-in object allow Java to provide all full complement of features that make string handling conveniently. In Java, what happens is like you have a string extension features like compare two strings, search for substring, concat two strings, change the case sensitivity, find out case sensitive in the sense like changing to the uppercase, changing to the lower case, that short. You could also see like whether string is empty, string is blank, and then what is a char at what index, getting index from given char. I think there are many features that we can end up using with strings in Java implementation. That's the beauty. By definition, if you see a Java string literal is created by using a double quotes. If you look at it, this is a string. You can enclose it with like a double quotes. This character literal, right? And enclosed with a double quotes. This is called a Java string literal. So string is a data type. Str is like a variable. Str of type string variable is what I declared and also initialized with string literal, right? That means now str pointing to hello Maths Bridge string. If I would actually print this value, then you get it output as whatever the string literal which I assigned to the str. See, hello Maths Bridge. So I'm reiterating, in Java, string is a sequence of characters, right? That's it. So Java implements a string as a object of type string, right? We have a built-in features for the Java, right, strings. So where we can do plenty of features, something like comparing two strings, search for substrings, concat two string, change the case sensitivity within the string, etc. Now let us see this the program and then tell me like what would be the output in this case. So we have a str of string variable assigned with like hello Maths Bridge. What we are saying is like str dot length. Basically it gives me length of characters within the string is what we get it, right? Sometimes like there is a need for you to actually understand the length of char, right? String size. So if you look at this one, length of string is like 18. If you look at all these, you can count like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18. So 18 including your white space, right? There is a 18 chars in it, and the index start from 0 to 17 is what you could see in memory, right? You got it. So For any given string, Java string, you can get a length using str.length method. If previous two sample programs are combined together, this is how it appears. So one, we are actually trying to print the str. The second, we are trying to find out the length of the string, means like a character length of a string. So if you run this program, so this is what we get it, right? First one is a displaying the string, second one is like a length of the string. In Java, if at all you wanted to convert given string to uppercase or lowercase, is still achievable using str.to uppercase, str.to lowercase. These are the two methods which helps me to actually convert the char from from given string to the all uppercases, from given string to all lowercase. If you can run this program, I think you can get it clarity. So do you see this now? The line number 8, what we are trying to say is like two uppercase, so it prints all two uppercase letters. And then in line number 9, we were asking to print lowercase, right, from a given string. So what it did is like it converts all into lowercase, right? So that is what we do. Okay, now next problem. So look at this sample program and then let me know like what would be the output. I will pause for a few seconds. All right. So in line number 7, we initialize the string as str is hello method bridge. In line number 8 and 9, we were trying to find out a index for each word, hello and method bridge. So str dot index of what it would actually gives me that hello in a given string, where it would start. The index of hello, starting index of this word appears in this given string is what it gives. Do you see like where it starts? At index 0. Hello starts at index 0 in a string, right? So I would expect this method should return 0. Similarly, if you look at a maths bridge, at what index maths bridge appears in a given string. If you look at this index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, white space 5, this is 6. So maths bridge actually starts from index 6 in a given string. This is what you would get it. Similarly, if you would like to actually iterate through all the characters of this string and then display them on the console, this is what I would use. I could use of like for loop, because for loop iterating, you could actually use for loop, for instance, right? You have other loops too, like a while and do while, but I'm just using as a for loop. Now for index equal to 0, and then index is less than str length and index plus plus. This is like a iteration. I keep incrementing the number of iterations that it completes, and then checking for index width. This is called a condition, right? When it meets the terminate condition, then you're gonna exit from this for loop. But for now, it is keep looping through and then fetching the values at an index specified, right? Here in this case, like fetching the character for a given index in a string is what you can display. Let me see, like when you run this program, you will see that all fun part. Very good. First you see hello starts at index 0. That's what we discussed. Maths bridge from in a given string, it is starting at index 6 as it appears, right? So we got this. So this is how for a given string, if you wanted to find out like a index of a the word within the string, this is how you can get it. Okay, now let's look at a for loop. Within the for loop, you are trying to print all the chars of a given string. This is what it is. The way that you have to fetch is like str.charAt index, right? There are so many interfaces which is provided by this string implementation, so that your program is much easier to manage with strings. All you have to do is like understanding implement the concept of strings in Java. To make it more clear, I am trying to print both index and character at that index on the console. Let me see like how it prints. I am trying to run the program so that I could see the output at console. But do you see this now? Great. At index 0 I have H, index 1 E, index 2 L, index 3 L, index 4 O, hello. Index 5 I have a white space, right? So that's what white space. Similarly, all other characters that get printed. Totally how many? Index start from 0 to 17 is what I could see in my input string. That means like what is the length of the string is like 18. 17 plus 0, right? 17 plus 1 is like 18. So length of the string is 18. These are the characters at each index of the string. I hope you got that, right? So here if you look at, I think the method that I'm using like a str length and the str charAt index. Now let's talk about a string concatenation. If I have a two strings, so how I'm going to add them, right? This is what call it as a string concatenation. In Java we can use like a plus sign for concatenating two strings. This is how I would do, right? str1 plus str2, that means like both will combine together is what I am going to display, right? Okay, this is the one way. The second thing, let's say, so for example you have a integer num equal to 300. This is like integer number, these are the strings, but still in Java you can add them. String plus num, the integer can be added, but what happens is like this number will become like a string, and adding as a string to the a string, it produces like a string as an output. You get it? So these are the two important things that you have to remember. Let me run this program and then see. Do you see this? Hello method page. Hello is a one string, method page is another string, both concatenating using a plus sign, and hence this is what combined string is what I get it. Similarly, at line number 14 I was trying to add your str1 plus your integer number. So num will be a string while adding to a string, so that's why str3 is now become like hello plus hello and 300 together as a string, right? This is what I get it. So we have another method to concat the strings using this part. You can see this a small piece of code, str dot concat str2. So str2 is going to be added to the str1. That is why your new string character, right? If you can actually run this program, what you see is like the same output like a previous one. Hello math bridge. Okay, hello plus str plus str1 plus str2 is a method that we see as a string concatenation, but other alternative is like str1 dot concat of str2. This is the second thing. See what happens is like if you say like an str1 and a dot, you will get like all the interfaces that are available within the string methods, right? So you can use all of them to understand like how the string implementation in Java. Look at this, the program. So what we are trying to do is like str1 dot content equals to str2. So in order you to compare whether the content of str1 and str2 is equal, this is what you would do. str1 dot content equals to str2. If both are equal, it returns true, otherwise false. True and false are nothing but your boolean values. It returns a boolean value. Now we know that like an hello and maths which are the two different strings not equal. So if I would actually run this program, what you would expect to see? False, because the boolean expression evaluate to 0, and the reason is like two strings are different. If I can make this is also hello, becomes like a maths bridge. Now I see both strings are identical. In this case, if I would actually run this program, what I would expect to see? It's kind of a confusion, right? What happens is like if we have a white space can also be considered as a character, so I will remove that now. I will rerun this program. True. See, so every spaces matters, including white spaces for comparing the string in Java. Okay, that is the point that you have to remember. Got it? So otherwise, what you would actually have initially, there is a two different string literals which are assigned to the str1 str2, and then we are trying to say the content equal in both strings. If not, then we are actually returning the boolean value as a false. If matches, boolean value, that what it returns as a true. Both cases we have seen. One more new concept regarding to Java strings. So let's say str1 str2 both are having same literal Java literal. Java literal means like the string enclosed with the double quotes is what I am referring here, right? So what is actually important concept that we are trying to address in this case is like every time you create a string literal, JVM checks for string constant pool first. So we have a string constant pool, right, where all the literals will be allocated. So this kind of a caching part. If the string already exists in the string constant pool, then as a since it's existing, a reference to that pool instance is returned instead of actually creating a new string. If the string does not exist in the pool, then a new string instance is created and placed in the pool. You got what I'm saying? So let's say like when you are trying to create a hello string literal, so JVM first try to look at in the string constant pool whether this string is already exist or not. Very first time you don't find it, and hence it will create it and then return the reference of that string assigned to the string 1. So now string 1 is actually pointing to this literal. That is fine. Now you are trying to create a one more string for the same string literal. In this case, what happens, like a JVMs try to look at a string constant pool. Now it can see, right, because it's already been created same literal. So instead of recreating as a duplicate, what it does is that it is going to send a same reference to the second variable. Now str1 and str2 are the string variables which have same reference to hello, right? So if you can print them anyway, there is no real difference because you are trying to print it, but the address, if you can really look at, both actually have the same reference is what we are saying. So this is concept is you can think of how JVM checks for string constant pool for the strings before it gets created, right? If it is exist, it will leverage the existing one, otherwise it creates a new one. Okay, this is beautiful concept. We have one more method to create a strings in Java. Basically Java string is an object type, so a string object, what I meant to say. So for all the objects in Java, that what we use as a keyword to create a strings. So this is what I was trying to refer now, right? Previously what I'm saying is like I'm just creating a Java literal and then assigning to the reference variable. Now what I'm doing is like string str1 equal to new string method space. So this is a string literal of type integer is what I am going to create as a Java object and assigning that reference to the str1. Now str1 referring to Java string object which holds method space. So important takeaway, whenever you are using like a new, so you are letting Java knows that JVM basically will create a new string object in a heap memory. So I am repeating, whenever you are using a new, that means like Java creates a new object. Since I am saying here is a string, this is like a string object is what I am trying to create. So what this means, like you are letting JVM know that JVM has to create a new string object in heap memory for this instruction. So when I say heap memory, this is like a non string pool memory is what it means like. So if you can say that, look at that output, it has the same as previous one. right? May this bridge. Get that? So you have one more thing. You look at this example too. Within the strings, right? You can see this line number 9. What this is? So you are trying to create a string which has a white spaces, right? Do you consider this is a string? Yes, it is in precisely in this area. So what it does is like it is going to count all the white spaces and allocate the memory and assigning the white spaces within the memory, and that particular object is what you are you know written as a reference to str1. Okay, if you try see the length of these white spaces, length of the string that you can get it. And also you have a the few more interfaces that you can think of just to understand, like because I'm not getting any print out. So what that means is, right, let's say if I'm trying to print this str1, what it prints, I will add that statement also, stating str1. What I would do, like I will try to run this program and then see the output and then correlate it. Great. Do you see now? Length of the string is what it gets is like a 5, but I don't get any print on the console. That means, like, because of I have a white space of 5 chars, so I couldn't see anything because it's a white space. So in order you to test such a scenario, you have a one more method called str.isBlank and str.isEmpty. IsBlank, if you say, it says like the string is blank, it gives like a true. Yes, you don't have any character except a white space is what it says. isEmpty and isBlank both are actually written as a boolean value. When I say isEmpty, what we get is like a false, means it's not empty, it has a characters, but those characters are white spaces, and hence you have the two different interfaces which actually determines whether string is empty or whether string is a something in it. If something in it, then what that something would be, right? That is how you can interpret from the results. Isn't it nice thing? It is very important, sometimes like it is very hard to debug the problems unless we know the concept clarity. Now let's look at one more concept in Java is called string immutability. What is mean by string immutability? In Java, strings are immutable, which means it cannot be changed. Let's say, for instance, you are trying to change the string. What it does is that instead of modifying the existing string, it creates a new instance of the string, right, with a newer string. That's idea. That means like that basically proves that like strings are immutable in Java. Let's take a simple example. I have created the variable called original string assigned value hello, right? Original string is a of type data type string and assigning a string literal hello, right? Now what I am doing is like using the string method dot concat with a new word, the world, hello world, right? It assigned to the value modified string variable. So I have two variables now, right? So let me try print both of them. So what is a original, what would be my original string, what would be my modified string, that I can see in a console when the control executes line number 21, line number 22. Agree? Good. So and also I'm just comparing both strings. You can also do like this sort of comparison too, right? So original string double equal modified string, if both are equal, I should say both strings are same, otherwise both are different. So let me first run this program so that we could correlate the answers easily. The original string is hello, modified string hello world. See, if when you are trying to concat the word, if you would actually able to modify the content of the original string, then your original string now would be a modified string, right? But that is not is happening here. So your original string still be an original string, but you have a modified string too. What this means is like whenever you're trying to concat a new string to the for a given string, then what it does is like JVM creates a new instance of string, make use of the two content, and then return as a reference of that new content instance of that new content, right? That means You can do all the operations whatever you do for the strings, but strings are immutable. The content of the original is not going to be modifiable. That's an idea. Here also, if you look at you when in comparison, it picks as a original and modified strings are different because you still preserve the original content. This is a beautiful concept. Okay, do you understand? So I hope it is clear, right? Java strings are immutable. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, click on bell icon and leave the comments. Happy learning. Thank you. Stay tuned to upcoming sessions.